It's been a while since I've checked out rwa.gnc to take a closer look at stablecoins. Honestly, the market cap growth over the last 30 days hasn't been huge, but here's the crazy part. Transfer volume is up by almost 40%. That's 2.89 trillion in monthly transfer volume. Let that sink in for a second. Absolutely wild. And get this, the number of monthly active addresses has also jumped nearly 23%. Sitting at close to 31. These numbers are just mind-blowing. Stablecoins are absolutely booming right now, both in terms of volume and active addresses. And it's no surprise there's so much happening around stablecoins lately. We're seeing major moves in this space. Plus, nations around the world are racing to roll out stablecoin legislation so they can fully embrace and adopt this technology. It's an exciting historical moment. And in this video, I'm diving into a major development that's shaking up the stablecoin market. First, let's talk about RLUSD. Right now, it's seeing some serious growth in market cap, monthly transfer volume, and the number of holders. The market cap is up 26%, which is huge, although I think the data from RWSD might not be fully up to date, but CoinMarketCap has the latest numbers showing we're almost at 400 million RLUSD in circulation. So RWS is a little behind. What's even more exciting, RLUSD's monthly transfer volume has jumped a massive 46.5%. We just crossed 2 billion, which is incredible to see. This is such an exciting time for the stablecoin market, and there is so much more to come. When it comes to monthly transfer volume, most of it is happening on Ethereum, with only about 50 million on the XRP ledger. That said, I'm feeling really optimistic about what's ahead for the XRP ledger. With the EVM sidechain, ongoing DeFi initiatives, and XRP Apex happening right now, I think we're going to hear more announcements around stablecoin projects and RLUSD on the ledger by the end of the year. Now, let's switch gears and talk about stablecoins on a larger scale. Did you know that interest in stablecoins among Fortune 500 companies has absolutely skyrocketed? According to Coinbase, nearly 30% of executives at these companies said they're either planning to use or are interested in stablecoins, up from just 8% last year. That's a massive leap in just 12 months. It's incredible to see how quickly stablecoins are gaining traction and reshaping the landscape. Wall Street and big Fortune 500 companies are diving headfirst into the stablecoin revolution. And for good reason. We're seeing a huge wave of adoption and excitement around crypto, with businesses eager to not just explore it, but actually use it on a larger scale. And here's the thing about stablecoins, it's not just about their growth. The real action lies in the networks they're built on. If you're looking for where the real opportunity is, pay attention to those underlying networks. They're the foundation of it all. But it's not just the big players getting on board. A recent survey of 251 financial decision makers at small and medium businesses showed that 81% are interested in using stablecoins, up from 61% just a year ago. Wow, 46% of people say they're likely to start using crypto in the next 3 years. This growth is being driven by a growing belief among both Fortune 500 companies and small businesses that stablecoins can solve some of their biggest financial challenges. And think about what's possible once they start using DLT for specific processes. The potential here is massive. It's honestly so exciting to watch this happen in real time. And we're not just at the starting line anymore. We're seeing it all unfold right before our eyes. Stablecoins are absolutely taking off. In 2024, total stablecoin volumes hit 27.6 trillion. And we might even blow past that this year with nearly 3 trillion in monthly transfer volume already. We're not even talking about December, when transfer volume hit an all-time high. Over 2 trillion in just that month alone. Actually, scratch that. It was way higher than 2 trillion. I say it was probably more like 5 trillion. Crazy, right? Oh, wait, my bad. I was looking at the weekly numbers. Let's check the monthly. Yep, back in December, it was around 4 trillion. Sorry about that mix up. In January, wasn't far behind, hitting nearly 3 trillion, $500 billion, 0 cents. Heading into mid 2024, even as far as May, we've been seeing a huge amount of stablecoin transfer activity. Over the past 12 months, stablecoins have been on a steady rise, and who knows how big they'll be by 2025, especially after this major milestone. Let's talk numbers. 161 million stablecoin holders. That's 4 times the population of Canada, more than the 10 largest cities in the world combined. and 6 times the population of the New York City metro area. To put it another way, if every holder joined hands, they could circle the earth 6 times. It's mind-blowing. The interest in stablecoins just keeps growing, and it's only going to pick up speed. South Korea, for instance, is moving to legalize crypto stablecoins, shining a spotlight on the Clarity Act. As Brian Steele recently said, the Clarity Act will restore confidence, encourage innovation, and protect consumers. If you missed it, big news. The Clarity Act has officially passed. This is a huge milestone for crypto, and in my opinion, it paves the way for the Genius Act to pass next. Don't worry, we'll dive into that in just a bit. First, I wanted to share a few key highlights from the Clarity Act. French Hill had some great insights about it. Check this out. He shared that the Financial Committee and House AIM GOP are starting to mark up the Clarity Act, which will create the market framework needed to make America the leader in crypto innovation and distributed ledger financial services. Exciting stuff, right? Let's take a closer look.
Over in the Senate, my friend Bill Hagerty is leading debate on the Genius Act, which is a dollar-backed stablecoin. That's what the CEO of Circle was referring to. And here in the House today, the House Ag Committee and the House Financial Services Committee will be marking up our Clarity Act, which gives the framework for regulations. What's a commodity? What's a security? How does a bank hold digital assets in custody? How do banks and individuals and peer-to-peer networks work? How do decentralized self-custody wallets work? How are they regulated? All that's contained in the Clarity Act, and that's why both these bills are very, very important to the goal of a digital asset future for the U.S. You can't just pass a stablecoin bill and have any place to effectively use it. You need the Clarity Act to give us that market framework that will make America the leader in crypto development and distributed ledger financial service.
On top of that, we've got a great video clip to share with you. It's from the Financial Services GOP and features French Hill and Brian Steele. Exciting news, the Clarity Act is making its way to the House floor.
Brian Steele, French Hill, live from the House Financial Services Committee, where today we had a bipartisan vote to report the Clarity Act out of our House committee and onto the House floor for consideration. This is the second bill that Brian has so ably led, first stable coins and now our market structure bill.
Big step forward, House Financial Services under the leadership of French Hill. Great to see French's Clarity Act pass the House here on the Financial Services Committee in a bipartisan way, mirroring the bipartisan support we saw in the Ag Committee. At the end of the day, this is all about getting this across the House floor and signed into law to be transformative to move us forward in Web3.
This is just an opportunity, as Brian says, to see America lead in the future of Web3 on the internet, including financial services using tokenized payments and having rules of the road where if you're an innovator, a consumer, an investor, you know what the rules of the road are and how to invest in America.
On top of that, we've got a few more important things to cover, especially with the big update we just got on the Genius Act. All right, here's the latest update. Senate Majority Leader John Thune has officially filed for cloture on the Genius Act and its bipartisan amendments, meaning votes are lined up for this week. The bill needs 60 votes to move forward to final passage. Fingers crossed. On top of that, David Sachs shared his excitement, thanking John Thune for his leadership and calling this a huge milestone for the crypto community. The Genius Act is definitely gaining momentum and could pass as soon as this summer. Some people are hopeful it could happen this week or next, but let's stay cautiously optimistic. The Clarity Act is officially here. It's passed. This is a big deal. And if that wasn't exciting enough, let's talk about what Congress just said. In my opinion, this is about to spark a wave of major regulatory changes, steps toward adoption, integration, and ultimately more widespread use. Congress is recognizing that we're in a global race and they're pushing for US-backed digital assets to thrive. Honestly, big props to Subjective Views on this. It's a huge move and exactly why I believe the Genius Act could happen anytime now. I honestly think this could happen a lot sooner than we expect, but I'm trying to stay a bit cautious here. That said, it's exciting to see players like South Korea making big moves with crypto stablecoins. It's definitely putting some pressure on the US. Now that Congress is starting to acknowledge this and realize just how far behind we've been, I really believe things are about to shift into high gear. Take a look at this.
And that's why I'm so proud to support the Clarity Bill that both Chairman Steele has been leading here and Chairman Johnson in the Ag Committee have already passed. This bill provides one thing our digital asset ecosystem clearly needs: clear rules of the road. They've asked for it. It does not create more bureaucracy. It provides definition. It clearly defines the lines and coordinates the work of the CFTC and the SEC so companies know what to expect. Investors know how they're protected. Regulators can perform their duties effectively. And importantly, from a national security perspective, the U.S. remains the leader in American-backed digital assets, so that those countries who may be competing with us on fair ground, like Singapore and the UK, can do well. Countries that overregulate, like the European Union, can learn from their mistakes. But most importantly, countries like Russia, China, Iran do not own this space before the U.S.-backed digital assets have the opportunity to take off. This bill acknowledges that we are in a global race. America can be in the driver's seat, or we can be offshored and a recipient of bad behavior. I don't believe any of us on either side of the aisle wants to see that. And if ag and financial services can work together, more importantly, if the House and the Senate can work together, then I'm highly confident the Democrats and Republicans can work together in the interest of the American people. Now is the time for clarity. Now is the time to lead. Mr. Chairman, thank you for helping lead this bill.
Will the
Thank you
gentleman
for providing
yield?
clarity.
Now's the time for things to really start moving, don't you think? We need to get these bills fully passed, especially the Clarity Act. That one's a big deal and is likely to put a lot of pressure on the Genius Act too. From what we're hearing, plenty of prominent voices are saying it's going to get passed very soon. And it's definitely something to keep an eye on because it all starts with stable coins. Once that happens, we're going to see everything unlock in a big way, not just tokenization, but so much more. Let's talk about institutional DeFi as a whole, and this big idea of being your own bank. These concepts we've been discussing for years are finally becoming reality, and it's all thanks to stablecoin adoption. Think about it for a second. The US government is now fully diving into stablecoins, crypto, and digital assets. The narrative has completely shifted. This isn't about slowing things down or putting up roadblocks anymore. That's old news. Now it's all about embracing this shift, figuring out how to make it bigger, better, and more useful. It's about adopting and leveraging these tools. So I want you to take note. Big changes are coming in the weeks, months, and years ahead. Crypto is on an exciting journey of growth, adoption, and innovation, and the value pouring into this space is only going up from here. Seriously, what a time to be part of this. The future has never looked brighter. I'm especially excited about XRP, ROUSD, and Ripple. With so much focus on US-backed digital assets, US-backed crypto companies, and stable coins, these guys are set to have their big moment. Take ROUSD, for example. It's one of the most transparent and well-regulated stable coins out there. Pretty impressive, right? And Ripple? It's miles ahead of so many other major players in the game. If you've been paying attention, you already know how far ahead they are. For those who haven't, trust me, you're going to notice soon enough. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more free content. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.